there's any fish down here. Ourselves a limit of walleyes. We're taking some home to eat today. A lot of times I let them go, but kept mostly all these males. And yeah, pretty good day. Baker here with Hunt Fish Camp. We are on the Wisconsin River today below the Petenwell Dam looking for walleyes. Also testing out a microphone today, so I'm going to see if this works in these windy days. It is a windy day, so I've already caught a few walleyes. I did an intro earlier, but I think the wind might have been bad. So we're doing it again. It's windy now too, but hopefully we can get some good footage for you. I will show you exactly what baits I use to catch these fish. I'll even pull up Navionics at the end of this video, and I'm going to show you this area that I'm fishing and show you exactly what I found and where I caught them, and give you ideas of places you should try, or at least places to start when you get out there. It's always hard when you're in a new place to figure it out. I've never been here before, though. This is the first time I've ever put my boat in the water here. I've driven by here before, which is why I decided I wanted to come try it out. It's a less populated part of the state, so a little less pressure here. Whereas if I was on the Mississippi right now or in De Pere, you better believe there'd be 100 boats out in all those places. So here there is two other boats and me. So there's been a few other boats that have come and gone. No one's catching a lot. It is early. Water's still pretty cold, and the big girls really haven't made it all the way up. But they're around. Stick around. Show you what we're doing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's rock and roll. I gotta catch some fish. My net's buried. We got one. Okay. Ourselves anchored, I think. First walleye of the day. Nice walleye. It's probably a keeper right there actually too, which I might keep a couple today just for fun, but beautiful walleye. Let's see what I'm using. So what I think the absolute best walleye jig on the river is, for good sized walleyes too, now this isn't a giant, but is that jig head and a ringworm. Seems to catch bigger fish. It's the best one. Let's measure him and see how big he is. Woo, windy. Okay. There we go. 15.5-inch walleye. That's a perfect one. I'll take this one home. Yo, we are hooked up. Know what I got yet? Oh, here we go. Look at that. Is a beautiful walleye, and look at that. The best bait for walleyes: jig and a ringworm for good fish. That is a beautiful Wisconsin River walleye fishing below the Petenwell Dam. That is awesome. This one we're gonna have let go. She's fat, female, but look at that jig. Think she wanted it? Heck yeah, she did. See if I can get that out of there now. Okay, awesome. That is a beautiful walleye right there. Come up to spawn on the Wisconsin River. It's still early yet. It is March, early March even. So we're really a couple weeks early before the really big fish start moving up here. But there's definitely a few here. Once again, so what I'm using here today, so using a ringworm. Okay, I like this bigger profile for bigger fish. That's why I like this. And I decided, after fishing with Dan Kirk and De Pere is talking about it, and that the perch are what are up by a lot of the dams right now, and perch are green. And he was talking about liking green heads, and so it got me thinking I really should be using some more green. So I've got some green blade baits that I might try today, but it's just hard to beat that ringworm. And then I jigged for it, so casting. Okay, so spotlight spot, casting, so maybe I found a little sweet spot here. This one I actually cast downriver, and I drugged the bait on the bottom, upriver. Not really the way I prefer to present it. I prefer to cast upstream and drag it down, but there's almost no current here, so the fish really could be facing any direction. So I'm gonna cast that bait back out there. See if we can get another one. There we go. Right where I thought it would be. Oh, what do we got? Jeez, she's big. Oh, check this out. Popped off, and I scooped him. It's not as big as I thought it might be, but it is a nice one. Our fat female. Okay. Here we go. Another beautiful walleye in the Wisconsin River. Measurement here, 17 1/4. So I caught a couple fish on the ringworm, which means I switched baits. It's kind of funny about me, so I switched over to a jig and gulp. Now this would be the best bait for casting for walleyes all summer long. A lot of fish, really. It's kind of crazy. My friend Dan Kirk Outdoors uses this. I bet he uses this 90% of the time. And in the summer, probably like 98% of the time. It's crazy, but he does really well. And it outfished me a lot of times on it. Whew. But what we're doing is out here, there's this kind of this big hump. So I'm kind of just working my way around the edge of that hump. I actually had just spot locked myself because it's so windy, it's pushing me around a lot so that I can cast this edge. And sure enough, we got one. Let's get some more. We got a fish. We got a fish. Meter size too. We got one. Well, switch back to the best walleye bait in the world, the ringworm. I don't know why it's so good. It just always seems to work for me. We got ourselves a little walleye. Maybe an eater. He's probably a little too small. He's 14 1/2. Let's see. We got a wind in my face. Here we go. 14 1/2. So just under 14 1/2, really. 14 3/8. Let him go. Jeez. Yeah. This is when having a trolling motor spot lock is unbelievably nice. It's windy. The current is all weird. I hit lock and it's just holding me here. Not catching any fish while I'm locked here, but at least when I did catch that one, I'm able to lock myself in place. It's pretty wild, the technology that's here now. Compared to when I was kid fishing, and it was either dropping an anchor, which most people didn't do, or it was a handheld trolling motor onto wherever the wind and current was going to take you. You just drift with it and use the trolling motor to keep yourself running any other boats. Never liked walleye fishing as a kid because it was just too boring. Now I enjoy the challenge of it. There we go, hooked up again. Doesn't feel like a very big one. He's not. Hey! Ringworm strikes again. Oh, here's some fun facts for you here. So, see how I got that hooked? So underneath the chin. So what's going on, and Dan Kirk was talking about this in our DePere video, is this fish, when this bait hits the bottom, they're coming down nose down on it like that. And so when you start to pick up, you feel that little weight and you hook them in the bottom of the chin. So that just means they're in a negative mood, not eating very well. He's a short guy. He's probably 14, probably the same as that other one, probably 14 3/8, but you know, mean one too, angry. Let him go. Once again, ringworm. Okay, I should also mention this. So it's interesting fishing out here so far. So I've never fished here before, so I'm exploring. Even when I had caught some fish, and it's so windy, so it's just kind of uncomfortable to sit in one spot. I don't like sitting in one spot if I'm not getting constant bites. And so it moved around and went up to where I could get out of the wind, but there's just no fish there. It didn't seem to be. I didn't get any bites. I don't see anything on sonar, anything. But I saw a bubble line over here. So if you watched the Dresback video, I talked about that, seeing those bubble lines. It shows you a current seam of some kind. And in this wind, I can't tell where the current is really flowing. But I floated myself and over to here. And this is where I've caught a couple of fish. And I was on this bubble line. I discovered that there's a big eddy here. It's actually pushing me back towards the dam right here, which means there should be an edge on the other side of this too, which would be really, really good. So I'm going to fish around here for a little while before I leave now because it's a good seam. Now, there's also a really good bubble line down below a little point there, which just means, again, another little current seam. And so if there's fish around, then that's where they're going to want to be. So we're definitely going to go check that out.
We got a fish. We got a fish. I think we do. Oh, same deal. Pinned under the chin. So he's really just a snagged little guy. There we go. Oh my gosh, cool. Okay. So what's really cool about this fish is I was fishing up by the dam, and that's of course where everyone fishes. I found fished in that 20-foot range. I opened up my map. I looked where it comes back to 20 feet. It's actually a pretty shallow river a lot of the stretch, and there we go. Ooh, sorry, dude. That's a male. So he's 15. We're eating that one for sure. Good eater. I think he's 15. Let's see. Okay. 14 3/4. That means he's got to go back. Wish I could eat that one though. That's good. Good size. There you go, dude. Woohoo! That's a bigger fish. Oh, he's not that big. Ah! It's not nearly as big as I thought it was going to be, but let's keep her. That's what I'm after. Males. It's a perfect eater right here. This one's going to go 15. There we go. Catching walleyes on the Wisconsin River. It is windy as all get out, but we are catching fish, and we are not even up by the dam. So it's early, so the fish are still making their way up. So look at a map, and there's a ditch here, a deep spot. Okay, it gets deeper from up by the dam down to about 25 feet, comes back up down below me here, and it's just a natural corridor. So 2 drifts, 2 fish. I've just started this drift. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some big ones in here, but this one's coming home. Oh yeah! Exciting. Oh, the wind. Crazy. No way. Like 3 seconds. Oh, man. Get in the boat. Oh, gosh. We got you. Literally just stopped and dropped. And we got him. I want to show you something here with this. Was a nice fish. Another perfect male for eating. So I just added a stinger hook because they've been hitting me short. I keep drifting. I get bites, and I've hooked a few. And the ones I've hooked, as I showed you, hooking them down under the chin because they're pinning it to the bottom, or maybe nipping at the tail, and I'm just getting lucky. And look at that. So
he had hit the tail. He did not even get all the way up to the hook there. He's got the stinger in there, so that's how I caught him. Easy. I gotta get him off. That's a good one. That's a 16-incher. It's like exact size I like to eat. 16-inch male. And this one, the limit here is 5, and I might take my 5 today because that's just perfect. Perfect walleye on the Wisconsin River below the Petenwell Dam. I'm gonna keep fishing, but we'll show off some more fish maybe if we catch some more. But still looking for that giant. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what I can do to help you out, or if these videos are helping you out, if you've tried some of the things that I use and show, and if they've worked or not. Either way, until next time, get out and catch some fish. There we go. We got ourselves another one. On the ringworm. He ate it that time. Good for you, buddy. There we go. Well, 15-incher, but I've already got too many, so don't need to worry about that one. We have had a good day. This is 2 of 5, and keep 5 here on the Wisconsin River between 15 to 20 inches, I believe is what the top end is. And then you can keep just 1 over 28. And I wasn't worried about that. I prefer the smaller ones to keep anyway. So a 17-incher is the biggest one that I kept. But had a pretty good day. So fishing out below the Petenwell Dam. And I hopped around. I actually found a bunch of fish down below. And so stick around a little bit longer. I'll do a lake breakdown. So I'm going to pull up a map and take you through exactly where I fished. I'll mention where I caught fish too. You'll be able to see that, or you already saw that anyway. But hopefully this helps you get out. If you're going out walleye fishing, it can be boring, it can be slow, it can be tough, but you kind of keep poking around and look at that and giving it some time, and you never know. Good things happen. Alrighty, so let's break down the area that I was fishing today. So you can see up in the upper end there, that's Lake Petenwell, and then of course the Wisconsin River coming down through. So if I zoom in a little bit, can actually see both the areas that I was fishing right here. So of course up toward the dam, and then when you look at that, you can see the contours on here. You see the white sections showing slightly deeper water. Down the river a little ways, you can see a very similar depth range, and so that's where I'm going to go. But I'm going to zoom in on these so I can show you exactly what I'm looking at, along with a couple other little tips for both these spots, and if you're trying to put a boat in as well, because that'll make a little difference for you. Okay, so this is looking up by the dam, and obviously this is where most people are going to fish. The boat landing right down here. Now, the first thing I noticed is when I put my boat in, I started idling out, and I got to almost 2 feet of water out here. So it shows 6-foot contour because I didn't have my map up yet. I'd never been here before. I assumed it was going to be deep. But if you do put in there, be careful as you idle out because there's this big hump right here, which plays a role than where I fished. And so after I got out and got myself out of the shallow water danger, I really fished this entire section. So all the deep water, shallow water, I went everywhere up in there. And what happened is I ended up finding on my side imaging, I saw fish on this edge of the shallow spot up here. And so I really fished around this edge is what I focused on fishing. Now, and I fished the edges over here, I fished the edges up there, I fished edges over there. And I caught fish in a couple of different places, mainly over on this side along the seam, the bubble line that you could see. I didn't find any big concentrations of fish, or at least wasn't catching a whole ton of them. And thinking of the weather, it's cold, the water was only 40 degrees, the walleyes really aren't up there yet. I decided to look at my map and then look downriver for another depth range. So it was right in, so this like 20-foot range. Really 15 to 20 seemed to be where I was at and catching fish up by the dam. So that's what I was looking for downriver. Okay, so if I jump downriver here, so now this is Highway 21 that's coming across, you can see this same sort of thing, this ditch, and it's a little bit shallower up through here. And so I came down, I'd get in the boat, change colors, get in the boat, and then I was just letting myself drift down, and I was trying to stay kind of close to this steep edge. I did fish both sides, I actually caught fish on both sides of it. And so that's where I caught a lot of fish. I did not make my way because I didn't have a ton of time. I didn't make my way to the bottom side, but I would expect the exact same thing down here. You got another deep hole with good water on it. Now, I should point out this boat landing right there, that's where I tried to put in at first, but it drops off really strongly after the concrete. And so there's warnings and things there. So if you're going to put in there, just be very, very cautious. I did see a couple boats get put in there, smaller boats, but I put in up toward the dam. That landing seemed to be okay. Hopefully this helps you out. Now, and if I zoom out of this further, I'm sure there's more spots like this as you continue downriver, but don't be afraid to explore, especially early on when the walleyes are first coming up, because they don't just instantly show up at the dam. They got to get there. Hopefully it helps you out. Make sure you subscribe. That helps me out. Add a comment if you fish here or if this is helping you out or other things you want to see, questions you have. Till next time, get out there, catch some fish. Oh, that's not how that's supposed to go. No way. Oh my gosh. Literally just first cast back out there. Keepers, calm down. I was going to show you. Ah.
Check it out.
Oh, sorry, fish. Come back.
Oh, we got that good. That post. And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. It's funny how you get songs stuck in your head sometimes. Like, why is that song stuck in my head? I don't know. When's the last time I heard that song? No clue. Oh, I know why it's stuck in my head. Because I was looking at this weird current and I was saying to myself, what's going on? And then I got that stuck in my head. So, kind of funny.